Hello, Jayhawks. My name is Kelsey, and for today's show, we will be discussing what could be easily considered one of the most controversial topics of American history. Who really had the best performance during the Super Bowl halftime show? You're probably thinking, Kelsey, the Super Bowl was established in 1967, 30 decades before your time. You couldn't possibly make a valid opinion, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I can. And you know why? Because I might not have been alive during Martin Luther King Jr., but I was alive during the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show performance featuring Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre. In 2022, the Bengals went head-to-head with the Rams in a cutthroat battle for the title of Super Bowl 56 champion. To Joe Burrow's demise, the Rams beat the Bengals 23-30. It was a sad day for Cincinnati, but one of the best days for OG hip-hop fans across the globe. This halftime show was amazing, not just because of the nostalgic tunes, but how intricate the structure of the show truly was. The best way to describe it is a love letter to Black history, taking you through a timeline of the most impactful Black artists in the industry. Eminem was there too. No shade to Slim Shady though. What I did love about Eminem's performance was how during his song Lose Yourself, he took a knee in solidarity to Colin Kaepernick, who was penalized by the NFL for kneeling during the national anthem in 2016. This show easily ranks my top 3 best performances. Coming in hot at number 2 is the halftime show of 2007, featuring Prince. It's a tough time to be a Bears fan right now. Even worse back in '07, where Chicago fumbled the title of Super Bowl champion against the Indianapolis Colts. Every day, Chicago tries to ignore what happened during that game. But the halftime show was just too great to forget. Prince, who is a beloved pop star, put on one of the most unforgettable performances known to NFL history. He refused to use pre-recorded tracks, so every vocal during that show was raw and authentic. The stage was beautiful, shaped as his logo, which was a combination of the male and female symbol representing yin and yang, specifically Prince and his gender fluidity. The marching band was spectacular, and the participation of the audience was all the reason to appreciate how authentic his music really was. Prince set the standard for the halftime show in just 10 minutes, and for that, my favorite color will always be purple. And finally, y'all have been waiting for this one, my pick for the best Super Bowl halftime show in history is Justin Timberlake. No, I'm just kidding. I swear I'm kidding. The best halftime show is easily Super Bowl 50, featuring Coldplay, Bruno Mars, and Beyonce. The Denver Broncos took the championship title against the Carolina Panthers in 2016. Meanwhile, Beyonce took the championship title of Best Recovery during a fall in that halftime show. Words cannot express how exciting this performance was. Coldplay opened the stage, performing his most popular hits. The uplifting spirit in his songs created such an amazing way to begin the show, and created an even better segue for Bruno Mars and his straight bangers. I will always love that short king and how good he is at putting on such a spectacular performance. Now, the real meat and potatoes of this performance was obviously Beyonce, entering the field with an amazing drumline and amazing dancers. Her outfit was inspired by Michael Jackson and his Super Bowl performance of 1993. A legend honoring another legend. And those vocals, do not get me started. They were incredible. The show ended with an epic dance battle between Bruno Mars and Beyonce, along with a tribute to some of the most monumental halftime show performances, which displayed a sense of unity within not just the NFL, but America as a whole. That's why it was my best favorite performance ever. Well, that's all I have for you today. Be sure to let us know who you thought won the dance battle between Bruno Mars and Beyonce, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding my hot takes, you can take it up with my boss, Carmina Douglas, at MelaninMedia KU on Instagram. Have a great day, Jayhawks.
Hi, MelaninMedia. Welcome to today's Black Creative Spotlight. Tracy Deonn is an African-American novelist and a New York Times bestseller. She grew up in North Carolina, where she learned to love both Southern food and Southern spirituality. Both of these elements have big ties in all of the books and short stories that she writes. Tracy Deonn started off writing short stories about growing up as a Black geeky girl, but she's best known for her best-selling novels, New York Times, the Legend Born series, So Legendborn is a young adult fantasy fiction books, if you're interested in that genre. I could not recommend you read this book series more. I'll just read one of the synopsis slash reviews of it. So, Legendborn by Tracy Dion is a young adult fantasy novel that intertwines Arthurian legend, King Arthur, Lancelot, stuff like that, with contemporary issues such as race and identity. The story follows Bree Matthews, a 16-year-old black girl who is still grieving from the recent death of her mother. While attending a pre-college program at the University of North Carolina, Bree witnesses a magical attack and discovers a hidden society called the Legendborn, descendants of King Arthur's knights who hunt demons. Intrigued by this secret world and determined to uncover the truth behind her mother's death, Bree delves into the mysteries surrounding the Legendborn. She forms an alliance with Nick, a charming and enigmatic Legendborn initiate, and together they navigate a complex web of ancient rivalries and hidden agendas. So in this book, there's romance, there's action, there's fighting, there's magic, there's racism, unfortunately. But, being black in the South, not really getting around that, no shade. But yeah, let's continue. As Bree learns more about her own heritage and powers, she confronts systemic racism with the Legendborn society and discovers her own role in a prophecy that could change everything. So yeah, once again, the book is about very magic heavy, very action, very fantasy, secret society type of stuff if you're into that. The book is rated 4.7 out of 5 stars. And there's currently 2 books out in the series. Tracy Dion said that she plans to write 4 books in this series. The story is very people of color and LGBT heavy, with lots of Black, Asian, and LGBT characters and stuff like that. There's a non-binary character, there's Asians, Latinos, girl, there's everything. It's also very easy to read. I'd say I've read like Game of Thrones and stuff like that, but this book was very easy to digest. It is rated only young adult, so if you want to get into reading, this is like the perfect place to start. This book series is very easy. It's also pretty short for a fantasy novel. This Legendborn series is only, the first book is only 501 pages, where other fantasy books are like 1,500 pages. So this book is relatively short. It's a great place to start if you're interested in, getting interested in reading. So that was all. Tracy Dion and Legendborn. Go check it out. Very good book series. Bye.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Hey guys, welcome back to our segment that we like to call That's Hot. I'm Van Rosie.
And I am Leah. And girl, it has been a while. There is so much we need to keep on.
I missed you. Don't ever leave me again.
I won't. I'm here and I'm staying, okay?
That's what we like to hear.
Now,
tell them what we got today.
We have to talk about this upcoming Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
You talking about Jake Paul, the YouTuber?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mike Tyson, the professional wrestler.
Iron Mike Tyson, yes. Against little Mr. Jake Paul.
What is a YouTuber and a pro wrestler doing fighting each other?
Well, Jake Paul, he needed his clout. He needed the chance to say, oh, I got to fight against Mike Tyson. Sure, I might have gotten knocked out, but that's not what matters.
Has this man been relevant since 2010?
Man, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I haven't watched him since his Vine age.
You watched him? Let me not. We being respectful over here.
Yeah, definitely. But this fight is happening on July 20th, and if for some reason you don't have Netflix, go get you a subscription now because it's going to be streaming on Netflix in Arlington, Texas. So, I mean,
you already know everything's good down there in Texas.
Everything's bigger down in Texas.
Let me not. Alrighty, continue telling them about this little fight, this little tussle they got going on.
Now, let's look at some of the training videos before we get into the specifics of the rules. Let's look at Mike Tyson and Jake Paul training because
this is something I gotta see.
When I tell you there's a big difference,
yikes!
I mean, just look at how fast Iron is moving.
Yeah, Jake's kind of like slacking a little bit, but
Right?
this may be a little biased, but he's not really moving like he's supposed to move.
I mean, I've been seeing all the comments on Instagram saying, oh, if Tyson loses, this fight is rigged. And absolutely, I'm Team Tyson all the way.
I mean, let me play devil's advocate. Let's go with this Mr. Jake Paul's Mr. Man.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, pause. Let's hear me out a little bit.
Okay.
Ain't Jake Paul like in his prime? Ain't he young? Ain't he fit? Mike Tyson, what? He 50? 60?
Don't do Mike Tyson. Don't do him like that.
Mike, I love you, but you getting a little old. I might have to go pick up your cane at the freaking supermarket.
Okay.
Just saying.
Whoa,
We may have to get you a
whoa.
wheelie.
Whoa! I know you just saw how he was moving in them videos. He has not lost his talent at all. There is a reason he's heavyweight champion. I mean, did you just see in that video? He looks good.
He look good. I mean, what's it called? All I need to know is that one's a young man in his prime. One is somebody who's still trying to stay in the game. All I know is that they both trying to stay prevalent. What is?
I guess.
I mean, but let's just continue on to the next topic.
Now, let's talk about why people think Tyson is the underdog.
No, because that's a question that I wanted to know, because I knew Mike Tyson was, but I literally had to recollect on who Jake Paul was. Because
Girl, he ain't been relevant in a long time.
and also Mike Tyson is a literal living legend. I know you guys remember him from when you were a child, and once his name is said, you still gonna remember him. Jake Paul's like a one-hit wonder type beat. I mean, yeah, we knew he was a YouTuber, but that's because we did our research.
Right,
I know half
right.
of y'all ain't gonna do y'all research. Y'all be like, who? Jake Paul sounds like a regular degular.
That's what I'm saying. But let's talk about these rules, because the only reason that people think Tyson might be the underdog is because all these rules have been placed in favor of Jake Paul. Now, starting with, Jake Paul isn't required to weigh in. Now, they're going to be fighting on the heavyweight scale, I think it is. So he has to weigh in at least 200 pounds. Mike Tyson does.
Mike Tyson has to weigh in how much?
200.
And
at
how much does
least.
Jake Paul have to?
He doesn't have to.
That boy doesn't even look more than 150. How the heck is he gonna go and get? Jake Paul? How are you going to be 150 wet when you haven't even worked? Like, you look like, how do I say this? I'm getting a little ears. How are you gonna be 150 and you're gonna compete against somebody who's at least 200?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You're gonna be slumber. Like that ass. He's going to get knocked out.
he is. I hope, for his sake at least, that he's trying to keep up his weight. Because if he walks into that ring weighing 145, 160, whatever the case may be, he's gonna get put to sleep.
Oh,
Like
brother.
that.
Let's hope the ambulance is on speed dial, cause
Right.
he's down gonna need him.
Now let's talk about some tests that Tyson has to take that Jake Paul, for some reason, doesn't have to take.
Test.
Now, it says that not only in TikTok, not only on Instagram, everywhere.
I love your sources, by the way.
Shut up.
Anyway, continue.
It says virtually everywhere that Mike Tyson has to take a test monitoring not only his heart, but his brain condition. And if at any point he fails these tests, he's not allowed to fight at all.
But he is old.
He is, but don't be playing devil's advocate, okay? Whose side are you on,
I'm
Rosie?
just saying.
Whose side are you on?
We gotta let old man Tyson. We gotta make sure he passes his checkup. I'm just saying.
Girl.
I think those are kind of I think those are qualifying, like, adequate tests.
Okay, well then why doesn't Jake have to take them?
He is a young man in his 30s. What kind of heart brain test do you think he needs?
Girl,
if he's
I
got
know.
Jake Paul, if you got
Oh
heart and
my
brain
gosh.
problems, I'm just saying you may need to get out of the ring because it's your time. Let's wrap it up. Like, I think we good to go, but we know Mike Tyson ain't gonna be the underdog. We know who's gonna be the real winner of this game.
Okay,
so
okay.
let's put that to rest.
Just making sure you knew, okay?
Alrighty. Well, I would like to thank everybody for joining us on our new segment that we like to call That's Hot. I'm Van Rosie.
And I'm Leah.
And I would like to say have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, MelaninMedia. The outfit is not styling and profiling, but that's okay. But I'm back with another album review. I'm with a friend today. Do we know their name? No, but we love him. Let's get into it. Today we'll be reviewing Scarlet 2, Claude. So basically Doja Cat separated this album from disc 1 to disc 2. Disc 2 is just Scarlet again, and then disc 1 is a new situation, which she did add a song from Scarlet into that one, because I guess it fit the vibe more. It kind of did, actually. It kind of did. The vibe for Scarlet 2 is kind of dysfunctional. I feel like there's a lot going on there, and that is okay. So, there were 7 songs on disc 1. I liked 4 out of the 7, and those songs are Acknowledge Me, Disrespectful, Okay Loser, and Head High. Those are my faves. Yeah, so disc 1, sorry, in my Keith Lee era. Yeah, disc 1, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I low-key liked it way more than like Scarlet, like the original Scarlet. It's just a vibe. It fit the vibe. I think I was like in a, what would I say the whole album as a whole is? The vibes. Cause people are saying she sold her soul to the devil. Do I believe that? Well, she sold it, but they're saying she also didn't sell it, and that's why she had to cut her hair off and was going crazy and had the cat eyes. Do I know which one is true? Can 2 things be true at once? I feel like it. Maybe, I think Scarlet 2 is giving her emotions on how she was really angry that she didn't sell her soul, and now she might be ready. She might be ready. Do I know what that really means? No. Do you? Do any of us? I don't think so. Anyways, back to the notes. Scarlet as a whole, there was 17 songs as well. Ooh, there's a theme. 7 and 7. I don't know what that means. There's no 6s, so 17 songs for Scarlet 1. I liked 15 out of the 17 songs, but I would give Scarlet as a whole an 8 out of 10, and then disc 1 as 7 out of 10. But as a whole, like if you add Scarlet 2 into Scarlet as a collective, I would give the album a 9 out of 10. I am a Doja Cat fan. Oops. I love Doja Cat. She's a great gal. Very cute, very fun, very everything. I hope to see some new work from her. Because obviously this is just recycled. I don't know if this is her telling us she's gonna give us a real album soon or what. I hope so. I need more new music because Kehlani just put out a little song. Hated it. Well, I did. It's a vibe for the summer. Like if you're going out and partying and doing all this fun stuff this summer, it's a great vibe to just dance and have fun, but I don't like it as of now. But I also like 2016, 17 Kehlani, like the way vibes / am I feeling vibes. I like old Kehlani. So, bye. That's my album review. We love music. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.
Hello everyone and welcome back to MelaninMedia's Slice of Insight. We'll be leaving you for food for thought from Black history. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Alicia.
Did you know that Dr. Jessie Gideon Garnett was the first black woman dentist in Boston? Due to Garnett's father passing at a young age, her mother moved Garnett and her siblings from Liverpool, Nova Scotia to Roxby, Boston. Inspired by her 2 older sisters who were nurses, she wanted to become a dentist. After graduating high school, she went to attend Tufts Dental School. Once accepted, the dean told Garnett that her admittance was a mistake and that she would have to find her own patients. Despite this, Garnett was not only the first, but the only woman graduating in her class. She then went on to open her first office. Although business was slow, by the 1920s, she moved her office to a new location and found success. Garnett practiced for nearly 50 years until arthritis in her hands forced her to retire. During her time at Tufts, She also charted the PSI Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Ramit Salika Williams was the first Black woman to perform at the White House. Born in Natchez, Mississippi in 1849, Williams' family moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, shortly after her birth. Due to a wealthy local benefactor, she studied music as a child up until her 20s. Williams then moved to San Francisco, California to study under Signora Benici from his teachings. Williams made her debut as a concert soprano in 1876. 2 years after her debut, she performed in the Green Room of the White House with President Rutherford Hayes and Mrs. Hayes in the audience. After her White House performance, Williams toured nationally, visiting Europe twice. Once was to perform for Queen Victoria.
Dr. Sadie Alexander was the first woman to obtain an economics degree. She was born in 1998 to a distinguishing family. Her grandfather was a bishop and an editor. Her uncle was a surgeon, and her aunt founded a school. Alexander was destined for greatness. After graduating high school, Alexander's mother suggested she go to the University of Pennsylvania despite being offered a scholarship to Howard. In 1918, she obtained her bachelor's in education. She continued her studies at Pennsylvania, where Alexander obtained her master's and doctorate in economics, becoming the first in the USA to do so. Alexander had many other accomplishments in her lifetime, such as being the first Black woman enrolled at Pennsylvania School of Law, the first Black woman that gave admission into the Pennsylvania bar, and she was the first African American to hold both a doctor and a Juris Doctorate.
Violet King was the first Black woman to practice law in Canada. King was born in October 1929 in Calgary, Alberta. She attended Crescent Heights High School. At a young age, she knew she wanted to pursue a legal degree. In her senior year yearbook, her caption read, "Violet wants to be a criminal lawyer." After graduating, King attended the University of Alberta in 1948. She obtained her bachelor's degree in 1952 and received her Bachelor's of Law degree in 1953, becoming the first and only Black woman to graduate from law school in Alberta. In the next year, she was admitted in Alberta Bar, becoming the first to practice law in Canada. Thank you for tuning in to Slice of Insight. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at MelaninMedia KU to keep up with us and find more content from the show.
Now we'll turn it over to Christina for some weather. Have a great weekend, Jayhawks.
Have you ever slept 8 hours and woke up still tired? If that's the case, you may not be getting the best quality sleep. Here are 3 healthy habits to practice before bed to boost the quality of your sleep. 1. Turn the temperature to cool. When your room is nice and cool, you're more comfortable to relax and fall asleep faster. 2. Turn the lights off. Light keeps your brain awake, which is the opposite of what we're trying to do here. 3. Turn off all devices. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, read a book. This helps your brain relax from the stimulation of the phone and can come to peace in the comfort of your own bed. Enjoy, and good night.
Good evening, KU. We look to have a pretty clear and calm night out ahead for us with a relatively warm weekend being followed by it, but we will see our rain chances return by early next week. Here's a live look outside of Manhattan. As you see, it's sunny and it's warm, and there's very little clouds out right now, which does aid in our surface temperatures being so warm through this viewing area. We are within the range of the middle to lower 60s right now in Lawrence. We're at 64 degrees, and because of the time, it's almost 6 p.m., so we will see our temperatures start to drop tonight, and as our winds drop tonight as well with the temperatures. So they're coming in at about 20 miles per hour, which is pretty strong, and they will drop all the way down to 5 miles per hour later on tonight. So we look to have a pretty clear, cool, and calm night out ahead for us with our low coming in at 38 degrees. For tomorrow, we jump all the way back up to 72 degrees, which is definitely warm for this time of year, and we will see some sunny skies with a gentle wind coming out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour.
those warm conditions that we see for Friday do follow through into the weekend. We'll be jumping into the middle to upper 80s, which is definitely hot for this time of year. And there will also notably be a lack of low-level moisture, which will result in our temperatures feeling dry, so you don't have to worry about the humidity feeling that comes with hot weather. You can just enjoy the hot weather without feeling all hot and sticky. Now, what does follow us for the beginning of next week is a low pressure system that'll come through, and that will bring some rain for us happening on Monday afternoon and even into Tuesday morning. But even after the rain happening on Tuesday, then we will see our temperatures stay relatively warm, definitely warmer than average, coming in at 80 for the middle of the week. That is all we have for you tonight at MelaninMedia, and we'll see you next Thursday at 5:30.